Hello everyone. So we will start the class today. Okay. I think all of you have downloaded the VS Code and the Node.js. कल हमने ये फोल्डर बनाया था प्रोजेक्ट फोल्डर जिसमें हमने Node.js का प्रोजेक्ट इनिशियलाइज किया था. So we will be continue in that folder only for coding. So let's open that folder in the VS Code. First, today we will learn about console logs. Okay, console logs. What are the different console logs? What are the different console logs are there in the JavaScript? Okay, first thing, the basic thing yesterday also we have seen. The first is uh, console dot log. Okay, which will console a thing in a which logs anything whichever whatever we pass in the parameters it's uh, log in the console. Okay, this is one of the logs, and another one is console dot error. Okay, error. Another one is console dot war. Okay, something we want to give a warning to the users, so we will use console dot war. Okay, warning. Okay, so these are the three basic things. Okay, let's run this file. Okay, node index.js. To run the file, we have to mention node and the file path. Okay, the file path current the file is in the current folder, which is project folder. So when we click, so it will execute. So first is console.log, which consoles the message whatever we have given, and second one is what it will log the error whatever we send the message. It will in log in a red color, warning will log in a yellow color. Okay, these are the basic console logs. And there is one more called console dot type. Okay, which takes a parameter as a label. We can give any parameter like time taker. Okay, for example, if we have a block of code, for example, let's say let a is equals to 20. Okay, then we console log end time. Okay, so here at the end time also we have to pass the same level. Okay, so what will this log is how much time this line particular block of code in between time and how much time that block of code is took. It will log that time. Okay, if we run file, so it will log the time taken is 0.188 milliseconds. So to this line of code took this much amount of time. Okay, this mainly helps in the server logging how much time the request has taken. So these things will help to log those things, so we can optimize the API request. So okay, now let's learn about the variables. Okay, I think this my screen is visible. Only let's do the last one. Sorry guys. Okay. Now we will learn variables. Okay. Okay. Variables are just a container. It's a storage box. So we can store anything. Okay. We can store any type of data in the variables. Okay. Variables are variables is a storage box, or we can say container where we can store any, okay, we can store anything. So there are three types to declare a variables. One is let, another one is const, another one is var. Okay, another one is var. There are three ways to declare the variables. One is let, one is const, and another one is var. Okay, so let's talk about first var. Var. So var is a function scope. Okay, function scope. Okay, so function scope. There are multiple scopes in the JavaScript: function scope, block scope, overall global scope. There are three types of scopes. Function scope is this variable is accessible only in the function. For example, if we have declared a function, although we have not learned function. Okay, function one. Okay, if we declare a var variable where a equals to where a equals to 1. So if we log a and all the function, so when we run this file, so it logged 1. So this a is only accessible in this function. Let's say if we try to access outside the function, so we cannot access outside the function. We cannot, a is the function scope, so the a is only accessible inside the function only. We cannot access a variable outside the function. So the a is a functional scope. Okay, variable, whatever the variables we declared with the var, it's a functional scope. It can be only accessible in the function only. Okay, this is var variable which is declared with the var label. Okay, and another one is let. Okay, let is a block scope. Okay, block, yes, block scope. Okay, so let variable is a block scope. Anything, a variable which is declared with a let variable can only accessible within a blocks. So block is means these curly brackets. Okay, for example, let's say we have a function. Okay, we have a function called function 1. Okay, we have a variable declared with let's say there is a if condition which always get executed. Okay, and if let's say we have declared a let variable a is equals to 10. Okay, when we log uh, inside the blocks, it is one of the block. A is only accessible within this if condition. We cannot access outside the if condition. Or let's say, let's call this function. Let's see, try to execute that thing. So let's see. The A is not defined. It cannot accessible outside the block. If is a block which is which is defined with the curly brackets. Okay, let's say let's accessible inside the block. See, if we console.log inside the block, it's getting executed. So the a variable which is declared with let can only be accessible inside the block scope. Let's try with the var. Okay, var b is equals to 32. We can accessible. Let's declare in this scope. Let's comment on these things and try to log outside the scope. Okay, outside the scope it can easily be accessible. See, the var variable is accessible outside the scope. So var is a function scope. So we can access this b variable inside the function only. If we try to access outside the function, we cannot access. It gives error. See, when we executed, it logged inside one, but not outside one. It thrown an error. Okay, we cannot access. So uh, variable which is declared with var, it's a function scope. Variable declared with let, it's a block scope. Okay, these are the difference between var and. Okay, let's learn about const. Okay, there is one more way to declare variable called const. It's you can say const is it is also a block scope. Okay, const is a block scope, but it has a fixed value. We cannot change the value once we declare. Okay, let's try. Okay, let a is equals to 20. Okay, if we try to change, let's console log. If we try to a is equals to 32. Okay, if we try to change the value, we cannot change it. So it's throw the error. Okay, we cannot reassignment. We cannot reassignment the const values. Okay, for example, uh, but we can redeclare the var variable and let variable. So let's see an example. Var a is equals to 20 console.log a and a is equals to 30. Okay, console.log a. So this will log 20 and this will log 30. So with var variable, we can change the values of the variable, but we cannot change the const value. Okay, let's try to execute. Okay, see, we can change the values. Here logged a with change value 30. Okay, we can change the var. Similarly, we can do with the let variable also. Similarly, we can do the let variable. Okay, and there is one more difference between let and var. There is also a, these are the difference between const and let and var. Okay, there is also a difference between let and var. For example, let's say let a is equal to 20. Okay, we cannot declare another a variable. Okay, another variable with let uh, with the let keyword. Okay, here we have reassigned. Okay, we are redeclaring. There is a two different concept. Here we are doing assignment. Okay, we are doing assignment. Here we are redeclaring. Okay, we cannot redeclare a same variable two times within a scope. Okay, within a scope. For example, there is a scope and we can declare here one and outside one we can declare because both are in a different scope. Let can be declared in a different scope, but not in the same scope. But with var variable, we can do. We can redeclare it. Var a is equals to 40. Okay, we can declare it. Console.log a. Console.log a. We can do it. So it get executed successfully. But we cannot do with let variable. Okay. See, let's try to execute this also. It gives error. We cannot redeclare let variables. Okay. Within a scope. Okay. Within a scope. These are the different variables. So let me say one more times. So variable is a storage box or container where we can store anything. Okay. Whenever we declare a variable, it, the memory is allocated in the memory box. So you can think as a there is a block of memory within a one block called a variable. For example, let me show. There is a multiple blocks. Okay, these are the multiple blocks of memory. Okay, when we declare let a is equals to 20. Okay, this block will assign to this variable. So now this block is called as a. This block is called as a, and the 20 value is stored in the memory. So behind the scenes, it will work like this. Okay, you can assume as in a memory we have block of memories. When we declare a variable with let a, so the memory of block we can call it as a, and the value become 20. Okay, so there are three types of we can declare a variable with the three keywords. One is let, one is const, one is var. Var is a functional scope, let is a block scope, and var can be redeclared, but let is cannot be redeclared. But we can reassign the variables but not redeclare. Okay, okay, so these are the uh, definitions of the variables and the properties. Okay. In interview, the interviewer can ask the what are the different types we can declare the variables, what are the difference between them. So you have to tell all the points. Okay, I will share whole code in the group. Okay, after the class. Okay. Also, I am recording the video, also screen recording. Will also share that one also. Okay, don't worry. These are the different types of variables. So, okay. So in JavaScript, there are different types of data types. Okay. Data types in JavaScript. Okay. There are different types of data types. Okay. One is first is primitive type. PRIMITIVE. Primitive types. Okay. One is primitive types. Okay. Primitive types. Another one is a we can say non-primitive or a reference type. Reference types. Okay. In primitive types, uh, there is a number. Okay. Number data type, a type of data number, and a type of data called string, a type called boolean, and undefined, undefined, and null, and nan, none, and there is something called a begins and a symbol. Okay, these are the uh, different primitive data types. These are different primitive data types. Okay, there is something called reference types. We can also call as non-primitive. non-primitive types, which are array, okay. These are the reference types. Array and object are the reference types. Primitive types are number, string, boolean, undefined, null, none, big int, and simple. Okay, let's learn about primitive types first. Okay, first one is, let's learn about primitive types. So you can, if someone asks what is a primitive type, you can say as primitive types are primitive data types are stored directly in the memory. We can also call as stack. Okay, primitive PRIMI, primitives are stored directly in memory or stack. Okay, we learn how uh, when we run the code, how the memories are located within the stack, what is heap. We will all learn when we learn oops, okay, objects oriented language. When we learn those things, I will explain more clearly behind these things how these things work. Okay, a primitive if anyone asks what is a primitive types in the interview, so we have to say that primitives are stored directly in the memory. And if someone asks what is a reference types, okay, a types reference are stored in heap. Okay, heap, stored in heap. And variables, variables will have a reference. Okay, whenever we declare the variables of primitive types, we will, in variable, the value is stored. I have explained here. Okay, somewhere here I have created like these blocks. So in memory, direct the value is stored, but in reference type, the location of the memory is stored. Okay, in reference types. So the variables stores only a reference. Okay, you can say memory address. Okay, memory address to the actual value. Okay, there is something called a heap, stack. What are those things? We will learn later. Okay, so there are two types of data types. One is primitive type, another one is reference types. Primitive types are stored directly in the memory, and reference types are stored in a heap. And whenever we declare a variable, the reference is stored. Means the location of the that value, where location of the memory where the value is stored. So that address will be stored in the variable. Okay, let's see an example. Okay, let's say, let's declare one object. Okay, one object, and course js full stack. Okay, and text, we can say js node. Okay, we can say okay. So this is an object which has a two attributes. One is course and one is tech. Okay, in course we have a string, in tech we have a array. Okay, this is an object which is a reference type. So in the variable, the reference of the this value is stored. Okay, for example, let's say okay, wait, let's log this. Okay, when we log, the value will be, value will the value will be locked. When we try to copy, so when we copy the primitive types, the value will be copied. But when we try to copy the reference types, the address will be copied. Okay, let's say let a okay. Its value is 44, and we try to copy in B. When we log it, okay, log B value, B, when we log it, so the value is copied. So the A value is 44, the value is copied. But when we try to copy the object, okay, let's say object obj1, okay, let's try to okay, object. Let's try to log, okay, obj1. Of course, it will log the same value, okay. When we print, the object one will log this. But when we try to change this, for example, when we try to change this, okay, obj obj1 dot course, okay, is equals to something, okay. When we try to change both obj1 and obj, both value will be changed because the reference is shared, okay. See, the let's say we will also log the obj also, okay, obj also. So both value will be changed because we have here, we are logging before changing, okay. Here both obj1 and obj, both values has been changed because here in reference type, the reference of the memory address has been assigned, okay, has been copied. Let me show with the example, okay. These are the memory blocks, let's say, okay. Let me do here, okay. Let's say these are the memory blocks, okay. When we declared, so let's say this is the this is heap, okay. The value will be stored in the heap, okay. This value obj value is stored in the heap, and the location will be stored here, okay, in the first block, okay. Address will be stored in this value, okay. So when we copy cop when we copy, okay, when we copy into the obj1, so it will allocate to the new memory address, but with the same address of the value, okay. The value is 1, but the address is same. So we are changing a value, same value, we are changing the same value because both the blocks has been as has a reference to the same memory address, okay. So that's why whenever we change the value of whenever we copy an object to then another object, when we try to change that value, both the objects will get changed, okay. This is the main concept of the uh, primitive types, non-primitive types, or we can say reference types. So these are the difference. All these things can be asked in the interview, okay. So let's say we want to copy, let's say we want to copy, but we don't want a same address to be located, okay. We want another heap should be created. In that case, what can be done? So there is a called a spread operator. Okay, there is called spread operator. Spread operator. Okay, let's say we want to copy. We can use a spread operator like this. When we spread it and log no, so the obj1 will have a different value, and obj only the value of obj1 will be changed, not this obj. Okay, let's try to log. Earlier both the values has been changed, but now only obj1. First we have logged obj1, then we have logged obj. Only the obj1 value has been changed, but not obj. Okay, so if we want to copy, we want to copy the value. Okay, not the address of that value, so we can use the spread operator. Okay, spread operator. So these are the concept of primitive types and the reference types. Okay, now let's learn about one by one about these primitive types and reference types. Number, string, boolean. What are numbers? How to declare it? What are strings? What are objects? What are arrays? We will learn one by one. Okay, now let's learn a string. Okay, how we can declare a string? Let's say if you want to declare a string, we can str. Okay, we can declare with any keyword, let, const, or var. Okay, according to our use case. If we don't want someone to change the values, so we can declare with the const, or we want to change a value in case, so we can declare with the let variable. Okay, let's say is string. Okay, if someone asks what is a string, so you have to say that string is a sequence of characters. Okay, string is a sequence of characters. So these are the characters t, h, I, s. So these are the characters. So string is a sequence of characters. Okay, uh, this is the definition of string. So there is something called a template literals. Okay, literals, literals. Okay, template literals. So let's say we want to have a dynamic string. Okay, let's say we have a variable called var. Let's say a. Okay, let's say a variable. Okay, a variable has a value 10. Something is really clear. Okay, let be var. Okay, is 21. Okay, so we want to have a dynamic string. Let's say so uh, we can assign these. We want to use these values in the string, so we can use the backticks. Okay, backticks, which is beside left side of one. Okay, in the keyboard. Okay, left side of one, we can use a backticks. So in this backticks we can use these values. How we can use? With the dollar and the curly brackets, and we can use the a var here. Okay, let's console log it. Let me try to log. Let's see. It has parent as a string, so we can use this 10 as a string. So let's use one more example. Okay, the sum of a plus is equals to what we can say a var plus b var. when we log, it gives like this. Okay, the sum of 10 plus 21 is 31. Okay, so we can use template literals like this. So this is the use case of the template literals. So let me explain this how this has been logged. Okay, the sum of is a string. Okay, and we can use our dynamic values with the dollar and curly brackets. Okay, so this is a one block. Okay, we have used a var, so a var is a 10, so it used as a 10, and we have used plus operator as a string. Okay, so it has logged as it is plus, and then same similarly the b var has been logged the 21 value. Then we have a equals as a string. Then in a dynamic dollar and brackets, we have added here. Okay, a var plus b var, a var plus b var 10 plus 21 is 31, so it has logged 31. So this is the use case of the uh, template literals. This will let me uh, tell you the use case of these things. For example, we want to track a user whenever the user login. Okay, let's say user, okay, user name is Vikas. Okay, once whenever the let's say he has login. Okay, is it's a boolean one. Okay, if user, if he is login, so if he is login, we want to log that the Vikas. So the username can be dynamic. Okay, it can be Vikas, it can be Paswaraj, it can be Arun, it can be anything. If we want to log it, yeah, we want to log it with the dynamic values. So we can use a template literals. Okay, let's say, okay, we can user is logged. Okay, when we run this, because is login. If the login is false, we can show as is not login. We can say as logout also we can say. Don't know whether the sentence is correct or not. We can say that because is not login. So this is the use case. So we will use these things in the when we create a APIs, we want to track the users. So this is the use case of the uh, template literals. Okay. Uh, if we want to, so we can similarly we can assign the different primitive values. Okay, the number, boolean. So here we use the number, so this is way to declare a number. Okay, so and here we used a boolean value. Boolean means true or false. Okay, true भी हो सकता है और false भी हो सकता है. So these are the boolean values. Okay, let's learn about a non-primitive types, reference types. Okay, array. Let's first learn array. If someone asks what is array, you should say only one sentence. List of items or data. A data can be anything. Okay, this definition only applies in JavaScript. Okay, array is a list of item or a data. Let's see how we can declare it. Declare should be in a square brackets, and we can assign a value 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can do like this. And we can also look. Okay, so we can log like this. Okay, And if we want to access any values of the array, so the arrays are has will be indexed with the 0 1 2 3. So the first item will be indexed with 0, second item will be indexed with 1, third item will be indexed with 2. So like this, the items of the array will be listed. Okay, if you want to access a second item, so we have to pass with the index 1. Okay, if you want to have this, you want to access this value, so the value will be 2. If we want to access this 0 indexed item, so we can access like this. Okay, with the curly brackets we can access like this. So in array there are multiple properties. Okay, array dot length. Okay, array dot length. Okay, if we array dot length will give a length of the array. Okay, length is 5. Length is 5. Okay, and if we want how to iterate the array, let's see how to iterate. So there is a function called for each. Okay, there is a for method of the array called for each. Okay, so it will accept as a parameter. So for each is a method and dot length is a property. Okay, there are two types. So array is an object. Okay, it is an object. So in the JavaScript, everything whatever we declare is an object. Okay, it's an object oriented language. Okay, let's say we declared a string str is equals to string. Okay, although it's a value, so in str also has a different types of, in string also has a property called length, so we can get the length of the string, how many characters are there. So there is a two types, one is property, one is function, or we can say methods. So in array has a method called for each. Okay, it accepts a one more function. Okay, it's called as callback function. Still we will learn what is callback function in coming days. Okay, so for each accepts a function. Okay, it accepts a function called callback. Okay, we can name anything. Okay, it accepts a callback function which will get three values. One is value, one another one is index, another one is array. One is value, another one is index, another one is array. Okay, let's console.log value. Okay, let's say we will pass this callback function in the for each. Okay, let's when we log see 1 2 3 4 5, all the values has been logged. Let me explain how this works. Okay, for each for each is a method, so we will pass a function. So for what for each will do, the for each will attach this function to the every item of the array. Okay, every item of the array it will attach this function and calls this function. For each will map to 1 and it will attach this function, so this function will be called. So here we are logging the value, so here we will get this. When this function is attached to the first index, the value will be 1 and its index is 0 and the whole array. Okay, let's log all the things. Okay, index, see, it has 1 0. 1 is the first value, 0 its index and the whole value. Second is the value, its index and the whole array. So let's log one line. Okay. See, one is the first value, 0 is the index of that value, and the whole array. Similarly, second is the value, second its index value, and the whole array. Similarly, for all the items, it has been logged. So for each, if anyone asks what is for each you have to say that for each is a method of an array which receives a callback, and it will attach this, it will call that callback for the every item, and that callback receives three values. One is value, one is index, and one is array. Okay, so these questions will be asked in the interview. They will ask that what is the for each function, what is the purpose of that. They can ask for example, if let's say you have told the definition, and they will test it whether you can use those functions or not. They want you have to multiply each item or each value of the array with 2. Okay, let's say if they say that I want they will give an array, and they will say that uh, multiply a 2 value with every item and log it, say. So you have, at that time you have to use for each function, and you have to make a one callback function which receives three parameters. One is index, one is value, one is index, another one is array. So the question is you have to multiply 2 to the each item. So in callback we will get a each value, so we have to multiply with 2. Okay, so here we will get a 2 table. Okay, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So let me let use template literacy here, so it will be more visible. So we can say that value into is equal to this. Okay. See, 1 into 2, 2 into 2, 4, 3 into 2, 6, 4 into 2, 8, 5 into 2, 10. Okay. So like this, they can ask questions. Okay, they can say that can you print a 2 table? They will ask like this. So you can do like this. Okay. Okay. So there are multiple methods in the array. If let's say we want to pull, or we want to push another element in array. Okay, we can use array dot push. push push what the function push, it will appends a new element to the end of an array, and it returns a new length of an array. Okay, it's push a, let's say we want to push a 6, so this 6 value will be inserted here. Okay, and when we log array. Okay, so the 6 has been inserted in the original array. Okay, so and push will return what it will return. They can also ask what the push will return. It returns the new length of the array, so it will return a 6. Okay, let's console log that one also. Console.log. See, 6. The length of the new array is the 6. Okay, we can push multiple items like 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, we can push a multiple items also. See, 10 items has been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so we can do the push operations. And another one is push, and push is inserting an element. Let's say we want to remove an element from an array, we can use a pop. Okay, arr dot pop. Okay, pop will return removes and last element, and it will return, and undefined is return. Okay, removes a last element from the array and returns it. Let's say we want to remove the last element, so the 5 will be removed and it will return 5. Okay, what is return, all those things we will learn when we are learning the functions. So I will explain what is return, what are parameters, okay, what are arguments, we will learn when we are learning the functions. Okay, in coming days we will learn, I think today or tomorrow we will learn. Let's see, when we log, the file is returned, and when we log the array, the last element will be removed. Okay, 5 has been logged and 5 has been removed from the array. So this is how we can use the push and pop. Let me explain why we are removing, uh, why there are direct functions to you to remove the last element only. Let's say we to remove the first element, it's costly. Okay, let's say to remove the last element, let's say to remove the last element, it's easy, we have to just empty that one. But if we want to remove the first element, it is a cost effective, because if we remove the first element, so we have to transfer 2 to first index, and 3 to second index, and 4 to third index, and 5 to fourth index. It's a very cost effective. So uh, by default we have push and pop methods. Okay, we can also uh, write a logic. In the interview they can also ask that can you remove the first element of the array. They can also ask like that. There are multiple ways we will learn in further coming days. Okay, those are, we will have a session uh, for the interview questions can be asked in last days of the course. We will learn on those days what will be the questions will be asked in the interview. Okay, and we have learned push, we have learned pop, and there is a function if you want to remove the first element. Okay, there is a called shift. Shift will remove the first element. Okay, these are the built-in function. Okay, in interview they will ask, you have to write a logic. Okay, you cannot use push, pop, shift to remove or insert the values in a array. They will ask you to write a custom logic. Okay, we will learn those things in coming days. Okay, if you want to remove the first element, we can use the shift. Okay, let's log this thing. Okay, it has removed the first index. Okay, so this is how we can push, pop, and shift. Shift is, I have explained here only. So we have, if we want to remove the first element, we have to shift these values. So for those things, we have to use the shift method. Okay, okay. Uh, we can also in push and pop. In push, we can also insert an object. Okay, name. We can also push an object also. Okay. The object, we can push object, we can push an another array. Okay, 20, 30. We can push an another object also. can also push another array. We can push object, we can push any data in the array. So that's why our definition is list of data on an items. Okay, these are the methods and properties of array and string. So next, there is another property called splice. Okay, array dot splice. What splice? The zero based start, and we have to give a start and delete count. Okay, spice function receives a two values. One is start and the delete count. So it is a zero based address location in an array from which it start removing elements and removes elements in an array, and if necessary it inserts a new element in their place and returns a delete element. Let's say if we pass second number and we lock, okay, in array we have 1 2 3 4 5. This is splice. So from second index onwards it has removed all the elements from second index. So 0 1. So second index, it is a second index. Okay, this is the first index and this is the second index, zeroth index and first index. So it removed 3 4 and 5. We can also give the amount of numbers. Okay, let's say we have first 1, so it will only remove second the index. Okay, second index, this is 0, this is first and this is second. Okay, this is 0, this is first and second. It has removed the second index. We have passed second, remove second index, only one number, only first element. From second index only one item. If we pass two items, start from second index and delete two items. Start from second index and remove two numbers. So it start from second index. It has removed two elements. One element removed, two element removed. So remaining 1, 2, and 5. So this is the use case of splice. Okay. Okay. Let's learn some more functions, some more important functions. Okay. Map, filter, and radius. So these are the main functions, main important functions. Okay, this 101% in an interview, the map, they will ask what are map, filter, and radius. So let's learn what is map, what is filter, what is radius. Okay, okay, let's learn first map. What is map? The name also says that map will maps the array. Okay, let's come this. Map is an array function. Okay, it transforms the each elements and return a new array. In for each function, in for each there is a similarities between for each and map, and also dissimilarities also. Here for each function does not returns anything, but map will return a new array. Okay, uh, whatever we compute in the map logic, so it returns a new array. So if anyone asks what is map, so we have to say that transforms each element and returns new array. Okay, so let's see the syntax. Map, okay, it will also takes a callback function. Okay, let's declare a function cb. Okay, same, it will in callback function we will have a three values: value, index and array. Okay, here value, index, array. So we here we have to return. Okay, in for each we don't have to uh, return. Okay, let's say value into 2. Okay, it returns the new value. If we call back here, and it will returns a new array. So it will returns new array means we can store arr. What map function will do, it will takes a function and attach to the each element of the array, and it will call this. Okay, and the callback function will return value into 2. So value 1 into 2. So it will return these values and store in another array and returns a new array. Okay, let's log. So it has returned 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10. It has returned a new array. Okay, here we are manipulating with the same array. Okay, here we are manipulating with the same array, but here the map will give a new array. So this is the difference. Okay, it will does not modifies the original array. Okay, it creates a new array by applying a function to each values and returns a new value. Okay, new array. Okay, this is the definition of the map. Okay, it transforms each element and returns a new array. So this is the use case of the map. Let's learn about filter. Filter means we can filter out values from an array. Okay, filter means we can filter out the values from the filter means it it will select element element based on the condition. Okay, okay, condition based on condition. So what condition, where we have to declare. So similar, this is also similar syntax of map. So draw array dot filter, and we have to pass callback function cp. Callback function, callback will have three values: value, index and arr. So we have to return a logic. Okay, if we want to uh, take, we want to a two value, we want to find a let's say, we have an array of object called, okay, name person one. Okay, so exam is passed. Okay, exam में pass हुआ कि नहीं, इधर value is passed. Okay, true. Okay, and there is another object called is passed false. Okay, and there is a person 2, person 3 is passed false, is passed false, is passed. Let's say we want to get all the persons who is passed. Okay, we want to get all the persons of array who is passed. So we can filter out those things. So filter what will do, it will attach a function. So we have to write a logic. So whether a person, so we will get a value, means this object will get here. So we can perform a logic here. Okay, based, so here we have, it selects an item based on the condition. So we have to write the condition. So at what condition we want to filter out. So at condition is passed is equals to true. Okay. On this condition we want to get those values. Okay. Then we have to pass the callback function, and the filter will return a passed persons. Okay. It will return a passed persons. If we log past person, we will get a persons who has passed in the exam. So we get a persons who are passed in the exam. Let's say we want a persons who are failed. Okay, so we can get those things. Okay, so this is the use case of the filter. And let's say we want to get, let's say interviewer said that may you have this array, so get filter out a person name, only a person name who has passed in the exam. So how you will perform, how you will write a code. So first you will, let me comment on these things. So first we will filter out all the uh, past persons. Okay, first we will filter out all the past persons. Then past person's name. So interviewer asked to get all the names, only names, not object, full whole value. So we want to get only name, like person 2, 3, and 3. So we want to get only the names. So we can perform a map. Okay, we can use this map. Okay, so how we can use the, so then we can map a past person dot map. Map will accepts a callback function similar. So let's say that filter cb callback, and this is map callback. Okay, so we have to pass map callback. So here we will get a, so we want to filter out the name, so we can do that value dot name. Okay, so we will, so what this map function, first we have filter outed the past person, so we will get this array here in a variable called past persons. So first we have filter out all the past person, then we are mapping to the each array, and returning a only a name. Okay, we are mapping to the each value and returning only the name. So here in past person we will get a array of names like this. Uh, person 2. Okay, person 2, then person 3. Okay, who are uh, past, so we will get those names. Okay, so we have to write here. So when we log past person, so so we have to pass a filter cb. Here we have to pass a map cb. cb means forward. So when we run, we'll get past person name. Okay, past person name. So if we log past person, we will get all the values like this. Okay, when we log a past person name, we will log only the names. Okay, Here we are first we are logging whole object. Here we are logging only the names of the object. First we have filter outed all the past people, then we have filter outed mapped only the names. So these can be the use case of the filter and map. Okay, these are the examples of using these things. Okay, so we have seen map, what is map, we have seen what is filter. Okay, now let's see what is map, filter and reduce. So third thing is reduce. Reduce. Okay, what the reduce will do. Okay, so uh, reduce, it's reduced to a single value. Okay, reduce, what reduce will do, reduce, it will reduce here when we log no here. So at previous we log the arrays, so here we will log reduce into a single value, single value. Okay, let's say we have, we want to reduce an array. Okay, we want to reduce, for example, let AR. Okay, we have a 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we want to reduce it, means we want to add all those values and return it. Means 1, 2, 3, 4. We want to reduce this array to a single value, means 1 plus 2, 3, 3 plus 3, 6, 6 plus 4, 10. So we want to reduce it to a value 10. So we can use a dot reduce method. ARR dot reduce. Same. Similarly, reduce will also receives a callback function CB. Then it will have a three values: value, index, and array. Okay. No, sorry. Reduce will have a different values. Okay. It has something called a accumulator. Okay, accumulator, it receives accumulator and current value. Okay, what is accumulator, what is current value, let's learn those things. Okay. So a function has a two values, what one is accumulator, one is current value. So let's first write the logic. So accumulator plus, so accumulator means, mm, first we will execute it, then we will learn. Okay, okay, let's execute. So we have reduced to 10. 1 plus 2, 3. 3 plus 3, 6. 6 plus 4, 10. So we have done these things. But let's see what is this, how it has done these things. Let's see what's the logic. So here we get two values. One is accumulator, one is the current value. So current value means current iteration of the error. So what the reduce do, it will attach this function to the each element. So if first element will be current value will be 1. Okay, uh, 1. So initially the accumulator value is 1. Okay, first at the first time it's executed, uh, accumulator will be the returned value. Okay, first is uh, first value is 1 and the current value is 1, so it logged 1 and 2. Okay, let me explain more clearly. Okay, uh, first what it will do at first step is at the initial time, so accumulator value will be 0. So what it will do first, at the first time the accumulator value will be 0. Okay, 0 plus 1 will become 1. Okay, it will become 1. Then uh, at first time is accumulator value is 0. Okay, 0 and current value is 1. So 0 plus 1 is 1. So then then the accumulator value will become accumulator value will become 1. At first time the accumulator value was 0. Okay, at first time which executed with the first value. Okay, when so initially the accumulator value will be 0, then it will replace with the whatever we returned at the previous step. Previous step means when the function is executed at the first item 1. Okay, first item it has written 1, then accumulator value will become 1. At the second step now the accumulator value is 1, then the current item is second, value is 2, then the value of accumulator will become a 3. Okay, first it log 1, the current, then it will then the accumulator value will become a 2. Okay, 1 plus 2 it will become a 3. So then accumulator value will become 3. So first, at first step the accumulator value become 1. At second step, this is the first step. Okay, this is first step, this is the second step. At first step when we log, the accumulator value become 1. Then at second step the accumulator value become 2. At third step the accumulator, now the accumulator value is this value 3. So first accumulator value is 0. So 0 plus the first item 1. So 0 plus 1 1. The accumulator will become 1. Then accumulator value now has a 1 value. So 1 with 2. So 1 plus 2 the accumulator value become 3. Okay. Now at third step the accumulator value now is 3. So 3 plus 4. Sorry. Now we are doing plus. Okay. Accumulator value 1 plus 2 it's 3. Now the accumulator value become 3. 3 plus 4. 3 plus 4. 0 plus 1 1. Accumulator value become 1. 1 plus 2 it's 3. Okay, the accumulator value become 3. Accumulator plus current here is 2. 1 plus 2 3. The accumulator value next at third step, at third item the accumulator value is 3. 3 plus 3 now it becomes 6. Okay, at third step the accumulator value is 6. Okay, at the accumulator value is 6. At fourth step now it becomes 6 plus the current value, current item is 4. So 4 it becomes 10 and the accumulator value becomes 10. So this is the steps. Okay, let me explain one more time. Okay, when we uh, when we call the reduce function, we have attached a callback function. So what the reduce will do, this this will attach this callback function to each element of the array. Okay, at first step this callback value will attach to the first element. At that time the accumulator value is 0. 0 plus 1 will become a 1. Then the accumulator value becomes 1. So it has returned 1. Okay, now then at second step accumulator value is 1, then second item is 2, then the accumulator value becomes 3. It has log 3. Then at second step 3 plus 3 is 6. At third step it is 6. Accumulator value is 6. And at fourth step last value accumulator value is 10. So this is the sum of the array. This is how this is the use case of the reduce. Okay. Okay, we have got the reduce also. Okay, So we have, let's go through all the things what we have learned today. So first we have learned the console logs. What are the different types of console logs? First, there is a called logs, logging into the console. If you want to log a message, we can use log. If you want to log a error, we can use error. If you want to log a warning, we can use war. If you want to calculate time of execution time for an code, we can use dot time and dot time end. So, and we have learned a variables. What is variable? So a variable is a storage box or a container where we can store anything. It can be anything. It can be a number, it can be a string, it can be an array, it can be an object. So there are three types of variables. One is let, one is const, one is var. So var is a functional scope. It can only be accessible inside the function scope. Let is a block scope. It can only accessible in the block scope. Outside the block scope, we cannot accessible. And with where we can re-declare the values and we can reinitialize the with where we can re-declare and re-initialize. Okay, we can re-declare the values, we can re-initialize var, but in let we can only re-initialize, we cannot re-declare. Okay, in const we cannot do anything, we cannot change, it is fixed. Okay, it is fixed, we cannot change the value of the const. So where is a functional scope? So where is a function scope, we can redeclare and reinitialize. Let is a block scope and we can reinitialize. And const is also block scope, but it is fixed, we cannot reinitialize. So these are the difference. So whenever we in the interview, so you can explain like this. Okay, if they tell you to write the code, you can write these codes. Okay, and then we have learned the different types of data types. What are primitive types? What are reference types? In primitive types, we have multiple things: number, string, boolean, undefined, null. Let me explain undefined. Okay, I'll not explain. So whenever, let's say we have a let a, okay, we have not initialized any value to these things. So by default, it will have a value undefined. Okay, if I log, we get undefined. Undefined means it has been not defined. We have not defined any value to this a variable. So it will log up undefined. Okay. This is yeah, value of it is a keyword. Okay. It is a keyword. Okay. Then we have learned reference types. What we can only when we copy a primitive variable, we copy a value, but when we copy a reference types, we copy a memory address. Okay, then we have learn how to declare an object, how to initialize the value to the object, then if how to copy an object without sharing a same address. So how to declare a new object. So with the spread operator we can do those things. Then we have learned what is string. So string is a sequence of characters. We have learned what is template literals and what are the use case of the template literals. We have also used uh, the example also whether a user is logged in or not. And also we have learned what is array. Array is a list of data. And we have learned what is string, then how to declare a array, how to access the array, what are the array properties, what are the array methods. Length is a property and for each is a method. Length means it's a value, property means it will have a value. Length have a value of its length of the array. For each is a method, it's a function. Okay, it's a method for each. So for each will accepts a function which has a three
values. So it will attach the callback function to the each element and execute this function. Then we have seen push, we have seen pop, we have seen shift. Push for pushing an element in the last of the array. Popping is removing the last element. Shifting is removing the first element. We also seen how the uh, shifting occurs, and we also seen a splice. Splice will be splice. It will splice the things. It will splice the array from with the given index with the given count. With the given index with the given count. We also seen a multiple methods, important methods. Map, filter, and reduce. Map is to transform each element and it will returns a new array. The new array is the main concept. Okay, and we also see a filter. It will return a new array based on the condition. Based on the condition. This is the condition. Is passed with is the condition. And we also see how we can combine the filter and map to get only the names. So here is the example. Okay, we also used the use case. How to the use case of the filter and map. Okay, we also learn a reduce. Reduce is little bit hard to understand, but as you practice now, it will get easier. Okay, so today this is the concepts. These are the concepts we have learned in today's session. Okay. Also, I am recorded the whole video. I will share the link also, and I will also share the whatever code we have written in today's session. So you can practice these things and you can learn one more time. So remember, try to remember these definitions. Try to learn the concepts one more time. Try to execute the code each line by line. So you can also refer this website. Okay. Okay. You can refer this website. So here all the documentations for the code variables. So you can refer uh, JavaScript. You can learn concept from W3 schools also. Okay. So yeah, this is the today's class. So let's end almost I think 1 over 50 minutes has been happened. Okay. Thank you. Bye.